Time now for Media Watch. Look at what's been making news in the Chinese media. The Southern Metropolitan Daily has the story of a man who was detained after stabbing two people to death in South China. Witnesses say the suspect knifed a couple in the suburbs of Zhongshan City in Guangdong province, but was apprehended within minutes by officers who rushed to the scene. Police say initial investigations indicated the attacker worked at a factory owned by the victims. The three were arguing over unpaid salaries of 2,500 yuan, or less than $400 and the row escalated into a struggle which ended with the fatal stabbing. Another story from the Southern Metropolitan Daily reports on a journalist allegedly beaten by police after he took photos of a car accident in Henan province. The paper says that Zhang Jinxiang was detained for 10 hours after police in Luoyang City stopped him from taking snapshots. Zhang said he suffered bruises from being beaten and his wrists were too swollen to work. The local police claimed that he and another man were drunk and causing a nuisance at the accident scene, so they arrested him. After the report became public, a local police officer was suspended from work. Now, a former China Central television anchor has been given bail after being held for alleged contract fraud. The Shanghai Daily reports that Fang Hongjing, who once presented CCTV's popular Topics in Focus, was detained in Xingtai City in Hebei province. The charges were that he owed a Longyao-based instant noodle manufacturer 1.2 million yuan, that's over $176,000. The money was to be paid to Fang in return for placing products made by Hebei Hualong Food Group in a popular TV drama. However, he failed to keep his side of the bargain, then the company sued him. The paper says that Fang was granted bail on Thursday after paying back the debt. It also adds that he has been involved in a number of business disputes in recent years. Now, be careful what you put in your mouth, and that's not just food. Xinhuaibao newspaper reports that some factories in China's largest toothpick manufacturing centre in Huizhou City, Guangdong province, are using poisonous chemicals. The concern centre over an industrial bleaching agent used during the production of toothpicks. The chemical, rongalite, is banned from food additives in China, but is not covered under the regulations covering toothpick manufacture. Over 150 factories in the city produce over 30,000 tonnes of toothpicks each year, making up over 70% of the Chinese market. Now, the phrase walking on water can be many things to different people. And here in China, audiences are quite familiar with the sight of kung fu TV and movie heroes gliding effortlessly across rivers and lakes. But China News has the photos of the real thing. It reports that Si Liliang, a monk from the Quanzhou Shaolin temple in Fujian, has set a new record for sprinting across water, albeit with the help of a thin strip of wood. Now, the floating monk managed to cross 15 yards of open water in this way, up from his previous best of just 10, which is quite a feat. Now, an industrial festival in southern China used a novel way to promote its opening ceremony. Visitors to the Foshan Ceramics Festival in Guangdong province were faced with a 100-yard-long 15-foot-high wall made up of over 100,000 toilets. And if that weren't enough, a flush on one of the toilets on the top would cause the water to flow down the wall. A representative of the organisers, China Ceramic Industrial Association, said they wanted to bring together objects used in daily life and art as one of the central themes of the event. In addition to the display, they hope to draw attention to the Chinese ceramic manufacturers' move towards producing more for domestic consumption and not just relying on exports. Now, the southern Chinese city of Nanjing has held its first pet dating carnival. The Guangzhou Daily reports that during the event, dogs and their owners busily went through canine speed dating, blind dates and arranged marriages. Organisers even issued 15 special marriage certificates and handed these out to the proud owners. However, the paper warns that not every dog wedding ends with a happily ever after. At a similar event in Guangzhou, one couple of Pomeranians began fighting at the ceremony and the new bride ended up walking away from her own wedding ceremony. And that's all from us here at Media Watch, and in fact, that's all from the team here at BON News.